Today is March 25th, and I have another message from the aliens. I'm an interdimensional communicator, which means I can connect with angels and aliens and other interdimensional beings. Today, I do not have anything to share about the motherships, but I do have a message about the discoveries at the Great Pyramid of Giza. If you aren't already familiar with the claims, you might want to take a minute to view other creators' videos on TikTok and YouTube to get more details. But if you don't want to do that, here's a summary. Researchers used advanced radar equipment to identify several structures underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza, including 8 very tall hollow columns wrapped in coils that terminate a large square chamber. It's estimated to be over 2 kilometers deep. That's more than 1.2 miles. Here's a rendering that you'll find in a lot of other posts. The original shape of the pyramid is shown with black lines at the top, and the top of the columns that were discovered extend down from the bottom of the pyramid. And here's a rendering of the bottom of the columns where they terminate into these perfectly square chambers. And again, the bottom of this is more than a mile underground. It's an incredible feat of engineering that seems unlikely that humans could create today, let alone back when the experts think the pyramids were built. So I was curious to get the aliens' response to these discoveries, but before I get to the message that they gave me, I want to acknowledge that, of course, this is a controversial topic, and of course, there are people trying to debunk the findings. Now, I haven't personally gone too deep into anything that has been published, but I did make a point to find the original paper and read a couple articles supporting the findings and a couple articles that were critical of the findings, and I recommend that you do the same. Here's what I noticed about the critical articles. They aren't saying that there's proof against the claims. They are just complaining that a research paper and a press release is not the same thing as a peer-reviewed study, which is a good point. But that doesn't mean that the findings are inaccurate. It just means they are still waiting for validation of the findings. So we should consider that as we use our own discernment. A second complaint that I saw was that the equipment isn't usually used for that kind of project, and there's no proof that the findings of the equipment were correct. Okay, so this, again, is a time for you to use your own discernment. But when I use my discernment, the answer for me is that it was definitely aliens. And they agreed. They already told us in a previous post that they built the pyramids. So I asked them today to comment on the recent discoveries. Alien Prometheus and the Advisory Council of 5 are the ones who stepped forward. And as usual, they sent me their message telepathically. I translated it into words on my iPad. Then I confirmed my interpretation with them, and now the message is ready for you. Here's what they have to say. The Great Pyramid of Giza was our first energy center on planet Earth. The research findings discussed in your media accurately reflect the primary elements of the power structure, which generated energy from sacred geometry, hydraulics, and a crystalline grid. Most of the assumptions made about the pyramid's origin and purpose are wrong. The whole system was built with advanced alien technology, not human labor. The reason the head of the Sphinx was modified is not what experts hypothesize. The pyramids are not tombs, they are energy centers for generating power and healing. The energy generated by the system was used to power our craft and help humanity ascend to higher levels of consciousness. Each chamber within the structure, above and below ground, held a different frequency and corresponding healing modality. Human healing took place in solo journeys, unions of 2, and ceremonies of many. We do not currently plan to reactivate the energy center as it once was, but we retained the foundation of the structure for use in a new way at a future time. That future time is near, but has not come yet. So that's the message for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going live inside my subscriber community at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to answer any questions that you have about this. I'm also going to go live again on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern to get into other topics. And as always, I'll be back here on my public page the next time they give me a new message from the aliens. I will see you then.